You're getting emotional talking about all this.
Yeah.
So tell me, like, obviously we're talking about like several arcs at once, but like, tell me like one or two favorite story moments.
So I I love when we first have Luffy and Zoro interact. For me, Luffy being like, well, I'm not taking no for an answer, but since you said you'd wait here for a month, I guess I'll just join you. Like him being down because he knew that Zoro was who he wanted, and then ultimately fighting for and with Zoro. That I appreciated that. I think it set up the characters really well.
It's just so funny because when I think back on it now, I think Zoro's the only one who like got coerced into joining, because he was
100%.
because like Luffy was like, if I free you, you got to join my crew, and Zoro was like,
And he's
I'm
like,
not really gonna do that. And he's like, okay, well, if you want to get free, like, join my crew. What if you just join my crew?
Join my crew.
But like,
yeah.
literally everyone after that is just kind of like, what do you mean? Just come, just go, and then like they willingly choose to go. But Zoro is just like, you're coming with me.
Okay, let me go back to the one that I actually had on my notes, which is Usopp's the ending battle with Captain Kuro. That plot twist, which we kind of knew was coming, but like because I wasn't used to yet of how One Piece did stories, like it still caught me a little bit.
Okay.
That reveal caught me. Captain Kuro getting his face absolutely beaten in was probably one of my favorite story moments. And for Usopp the liar, which is what he's been dubbed at this point, being like, very much the boy who cried wolf. And we have seen now that, well, truthful, not the whole way, but like there is still truth in him, and we're seeing that come out. Right. So like that was pretty great. And it also set our Straw Hats on the map.
Right. And I'm so glad that you had mentioned the boy who cried wolf, because you're absolutely correct. Fun fact, if you didn't catch this already, Usopp's name is a play on words. So Uso means to lie in Japanese.
Oh, okay.
But his name is also inspired by Aesop's Fables, which is
Aesop's Fables,
right? Which is where the boy who cried wolf comes from.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, that's very clever. Nice. I did not know that.
Moving on, let's talk about themes.
I am really quite pleased with learning about the sets of principles that each of these characters have. Like seeing them fight for those principles. That's what we see with Luffy. It's what we see with Zoro. It's what we see with Sanji. We are starting to see it with Usopp. Nami, we're still warming up with, right? She hasn't fully revealed everything. We don't totally know her motivations yet.
Right.
And also, Nami's right now, if we look at it, it's staying alive and getting to the next place, which I think is a very relatable thing. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's very much also setting up the themes of kind of just like who's the good and who's the bad, right?
I'm so glad you said that.
Because this is when we first see the Marines.
Right. Well, we see the Marines like very, very early on, right? That's the whole beginning story of Luffy meeting Kobe. Right.
Yep.
And Kobe wants to be a Marine. And like Luffy's not that stupid enough to not realize that the Marines are the enemies of the pirates. But he respects Kobe enough to let him pursue his dream, because he doesn't judge people based on their backgrounds or their occupation or their titles. He judges them based on
their character.
Yes, it's their character.
100%.
And then when we go through like Zoro's story, we see Axe Hand Morgan, right? And he's actively starving Zoro, torturing him.
Yeah.
Which is like, if you're in a position of power, you should not be doing this. But
but it's setting up it's setting up the positions of power. It's setting up who really are our enemies in this story.
But then at the same time, the world is telling us, well, pirates are bad and Marines are good. And then we look at the actions of these individuals, and clearly that's not like a black and white idea, which is fantastic. Love it very much.
Oh yeah.
After Orange Town and Syrup Village, we really hit like some of the bigger stuff. Like we get the more like very blatant themes. So we get Sanji's whole thing is that people deserve to eat no matter who they are. Like they don't deserve to starve. And that comes from like his whole backstory with Zev and I think I told you this, right? Like the anime was censored, like when we watched it.
Yeah, you told me, and I was like, I couldn't take more than this. I was having a hard time.
Yeah, which I'm so sad that they censored it. I know it was probably just because, like, I think at this time Toei really pictured, and I think everyone truly underestimated what One Piece was, because it looks very silly. So I think when they were doing the anime production, this is just my opinion, I think they just wanted to keep it as a fun little pirate anime for a younger audience and didn't really want to dive deeper into what the manga was actually, saying and sharing.
Yeah, some of the more serious themes.
So when Oda was like, and anyway, this guy ate his leg, you're like, what?
Literally. Yeah. Yeah, you telling me that, honestly, it had so much more impact when we were going through Sanji's backstory, and
because it's like
that is what happened.
It's one of like the core aspects that shapes this idea in Sanji of no one should go hungry because he's been through it. And like the desperation like makes you do some really crazy things. And he doesn't, like, he's traumatized. No way he isn't.
Like he still makes sure that even this person who, turns out to quote unquote betray him, he's like, yeah, but you wanted to eat, and I was going to feed you.
So while everybody on the Baratier is like, we're not feeding Don Krieg, we're not feeding Geen, Sanji's like, shut up. I am feeding
This is a person
people.
in front of me.
They are starving, they are in need, I will feed them. But he also makes it clear that, like, anything that happens afterwards, I'm gonna kick your ass. Like,
I gotta get the fuck out. But like I will make sure that you are fed.
Yeah. And I've noticed this a lot watching some other book reading people go through the Baratier. They don't really talk about Krieg, but besides like Sanji's whole thing, the Mihawk Zoro fight is so important, and it's not just Mihawk and Zoro, but it's the way Mihawk treats Don Krieg.
Yeah.
The fight between Mihawk and Zoro, that's our very first look into what types of people are on the Grand Line. Because at this point, the Grand Line is just a far-off myth, right? We know that we haven't made it. We know that it's a place that has a whole bunch of really crazy pirates, but we don't actually have the realization of what that looks like. Mihawk showing up, and just because, like, you disturbed my nap, chops the entire Don Krieg armada in half is insane.
Yep, it was wild. That on a tiny little skipper is really what you would call it, the boat that he comes in.
He comes in on a coffin.
Oh my god. That's right. I don't know why. I had it pictured as like this other thing. You're absolutely right. He does come in on a coffin.
He comes in on a coffin.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy. And then like, so Zoro knows that Mihawk is the strongest swordsman in the world. He knows the title. He doesn't quite realize what that means, right? Until he starts fighting. And at first Mihawk fights him with the little sword, and he's just like, well, I don't hunt rabbits with a cannon. Favorite line, by the way.
That's so fucking badass.
But it's that respect that Mihawk shows Zoro, because he can see his tenacity. He can see how hard he's willing to work, that he earns the right to be cut down with Mihawk's actual sword, right?
Yeah.
And then Don Krieg is in the background being like, didn't you come for me? Didn't you didn't you come to like fight or whatever? Why are you like ignoring me and blah, blah, blah. It's so clear that Mihawk does not, like, Don Krieg doesn't even register to Mihawk as like a pirate worth his time. The way that he treats Zoro, you can see how he like would treat other people. If they don't have his respect, he does not give a fuck. So I always view this as a really interesting point, because Mihawk doesn't recognize Don Krieg as a real pirate. And it's probably because Don Krieg has taken shortcut after shortcut to get to where he is. He has all these fancy gadgets, right? And at this point, Don Krieg has been, boasting. He's like, well, I'm like the biggest, scariest dude, like in whatever ocean. I can't remember. Are we still in East Blue? Duh.
Yeah, we're still in East Blue. Yep,
so
it is in the arc name.
It's in the name. So he's like, I'm the biggest, scariest guy in the East Blue. And Mihawk's just like, all right,
and meanwhile,
you're not even worth a fart in the wind to me.
So true, dude. It was a really epic showdown at the end there.
It is. And then, of course, the promise that Zoro would never lose again.
Stop! I was gonna mention that when we talked about crying.
Oh yeah, let's get on to that then. What's the cry counter for the East Blue saga?
It's at least 8 times. It's at least 8 times throughout those 4, because like I cried at each of the fucking backstories that we got.
Okay.
Every single one of them. Mm-hmm. Cried when Usopp was leaving with Luffy. Mm-hmm. That fucking got me. And then, like you said, Zoro Mihawk fight, and Zoro vowing that he would never lose another fight. That is his promise to Mihawk, to himself, and to Luffy. That is what solidified Zoro as being probably my favorite Straw Hat. I was done in. I was fucking done in by that. I think after that episode, I was like, okay, can we pause? I'm pretty sure I asked for I just need a minute. What y'all don't get, by the way, is that y'all don't hear the yelling and screaming and crying that actually happens when I watch this show that Hio lets me do because they're a wonderful friend. But I am I'm pretty sure I was bawling my eyes out and being just like, look at Zoro, like look at him, like that's what I get like. So yeah, no, the promise between them was insane because you have Zoro with this giant chest wound and he's barely making it. Mm-hmm. And he vows, he's like, I will defeat you. The next time we fight, I will defeat you. Like, I will not lose. I will be the best swordsman. And it's the conviction in which he says that. Mm-hmm.
He's crying while he says it. It's like one of the very, you know what? Now that I think about it, I don't think we ever see Zoro cry after this.
That's the only time he cries?
I'm pretty sure that's the only time.
Oh my God.
I'm trying
I don't even know how significant that was yet. Like, yeah.
I think that is like, besides like the, the flashbacks and everything.
Sure.
Pretty much after that moment with Mihawk and everything and that vow, we never see an outburst of emotion like that from Zoro almost ever again.
Oh my gosh.
Not in that raw intensity. Like, he's still doing the funny, like, yelling at Sanji or whatever, but it's never like this real outburst of emotion.
It was such a good moment. That might have been one of the moments that really hooked me on One Piece. There were several in this, but that might have been the one where I was like, okay, well, I need to make sure that I see these characters make it. Yeah. I need to see their story through.